What's up, nail friends? In today's video, I'm going to be doing a watch me work style video. I'm going to be doing a removal of my client set, prep, application, and everything. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. Okay, getting started, I removed her past set because we actually decided to change the shape, and they weren't doing so great because I filled her set before and they weren't my work, they were gel, and sometimes they just don't do great together, so we decided to remove these. So those ones were lifting, so I just clipped off the lifting part, and then I'm going to file these down nice and thin and careful and then soak them off. I use old nippers and a tip cutter to like cut them down, and then I'm trying to be careful so I don't hurt her on that nail. This is just to help remove the nail before we go ahead and soak, making it just take less time, you know? I'm using carbide bits to file the nails down, and I'm just switching between the fingers and asking my client, oh, is this hot? And making sure I'm not burning her. And I'm also using some dull nippers to clip off the rest of the crystals that are left behind. These are the nippers that I use to clip off crystals and open up jars and stuff like that, so they're not sharp so you don't like cut your clients. I'm just making sure to film a TikTok for this video. And then I filed her nails, and you can see I just have a bowl of acetone right there, so she's going to be soaking one hand at a time. I'm going to file them as thin as I can, and then soak, and then work on the other hand. And I'm going to get her to stick her hand in that, but she tried to go over it, and I was like, no, wait, go under. That worked better for her. Okay, and then while her hand is in there, I'm just going to hold this finger down, because like I said, this one was lifting really bad right there, so we don't want to accidentally like pull that up and hurt her. So I'm just being extra careful on that nail. And then again, just debulking all these nails while her other hands soak. Okay, so I'm just carefully working on filing this nail down, and then I'm going to have her switch her hands with the bowl and pull out the other hand and scrape off some of that acrylic that has, you know, soaked with the acetone. I'm just going to scrape that up while our other hand is soaking, and then I will repeat filing these and soaking them until I have them removed. Okay, like I said, I repeat that process until her nails are off, and then I prep her cuticle area. So let's just jump ahead to that part. I do have more removal videos on my channel if you guys want to watch a full removal. Anyways, I'm going in with my metal file board with the refills on this, and I'm just shaping her free edge, and then going over any kind of nail that could be at the free edge as well, left over from soaking, so I'm just doing that. Okay, and then I'm going to push her cuticle skin back again. Make sure that I get all that skin up off her nail plate. Since they're super dry, it's a lot easier to prep at this point from the acetone. This bit I'm using is from Get Buff Nails. I just like to use this around the cuticle area to start. This will just get rid of whatever skin is left behind, and also prep the nail plate a little bit. It's nice and gentle and soft. I always go down the one side, and then I reverse my e-file, and I go down the other side. As you see, I just reversed it now, and now I'm going down the other side. I'm using another Get Buff Nails tool around the cuticle area. This one's just like a flame tool without that point at the top. I will link these in my description box. I just like this tool bit. It gets nice and close to the cuticle area to get any extra little bits that could be left behind. You want to make sure to get every kind of cuticle skin that's on the nail plate off the nail plate, or your acrylic just will not stick to it. And again, I go down the one side, and I actually reverse this to go down the other side as well, and that's just going to get you really, really good close prep. I'm using a ball bit now around the cuticle area. This will just clean up and smooth the skin and make it look nice and clean for application. With this bit, I do the same thing, reversing it on the other side as well. That way you just don't have any skin kind of folded in the wrong direction. So after I have prepped all her nails, I'm just going to go ahead and brush off all nail dust. You want to make sure to get rid of all that dust. And I'm going to go ahead and cleanse really, really good with a lint-free wipe. Get really, really close into those side walls and get rid of all that dust, because like I said, acrylic will not stick to dust well, and it will cause lifting. The tips I'm using for this set were the Glitter Bells Extreme Coffin Shape. I shaped them to her fingernails, and then I apply my glue. I got my thumb glove stuck to this one, so there's just a little black dot on that, but I'll get that off later. You want to make sure to apply your tips before applying primer, or they just won't stick as well. So I apply my tips, and then I will dehydrate and prime after. Okay, so after gluing these down, I'm just going to use some scissors, some nail scissors, to clip them to the length we want. So we kind of wanted to go with just a long length, a long tapered square length. And then I'm just cutting those all down, and then I will do this to the other hand as well. Now I'm going to be adding my Glitter Bells dehydrator on the natural nail only, and then the Glitter Bells acid-free primer. Before shaping the nails, I applied a thin coat of clear just where the natural nail and the tip meet, and I'm just using my brush to kind of feather that over top of the tip. I do this on some sets because I want to shape the set, and it just feels weird to shape them without this kind of base down. Sometimes I can shape the nails without a base on, but I prefer to have a little base down first. So that's just what I'm doing here, because I knew I was going to take a lot of the sidewalls in, and it just feels more comfortable. So that's what I'm doing. I don't need to apply this all the way to the cuticle area, just applying it across that line where the natural nail meets the tip to start, feathering it up, flattening it, and then feathering it down, if that makes sense. Just kind of placing that really, really thin. We don't want this to build up any bulk or apex or anything. This is just to make sure that the nails are nice and secure before shaping. And I do that on both hands so that they can dry before I go and back and shape. While I'm applying this, I just want to mention to you guys, I haven't actually been on here for about a month. I've been really busy. You guys can check out my other channel if you want. It's called Small Shop Secrets, kind of like behind the scenes of what's going on for the nail throne and being a work-at-home mom and nail tech life and stuff. So I just wanted to mention to you guys something that we've been doing on Nail Throne is online training. So I have Zoom classes for you guys if you want to take them, and they are live Zoom classes with me. We could do one-on-one custom classes if there's something you want to learn. Sometimes people ask me if I would do some shaping with them or something like that. So you can really just let me know what you want to learn, and I can set up a class for you. So make sure you check it out. I actually have a discount on my website right now, and I'm pretty flexible times, basically Sunday to Saturday. I can do any day, anytime, and almost any weekend. Just let me know ahead of time. Yeah, so that's available, and I also have some Glitter Bells courses as well. So back to the set. The set has dried, and I'm taking my 180 grit file. This is the metal file board, and I am shaping them, pulling in that sidewall, filing up, and on the other side, Trying to make these nice and even and taper them in. You don't want to file any of your natural nail on the sidewall there, so make sure you're only filing the tip. So that's what I'm going to do on all these nails to make sure they have an even shape to them before we apply any product. After shaping both hands, you're going to again want to wipe off all the dust and cleanse the nail around the cuticle area and everything, and underneath and everything like that. And we're going to actually apply more primer and dehydrator on the part where her natural nail is, because I didn't apply that clear all the way up to the cuticle area. Okay, I'm using a Glitterbels size 10 brush, and I'm starting on her pinky. I'm using a new glitter called Lily Crush. This is such a nice glitter. It is like the perfect rose gold kind of glitter. Anyways, I'm just applying this close to her cuticle area, and then I'm feathering this down the nail. You don't want to make this too thick or anything. This is just a nice thin layer of that, and then I'm going to feather that down. I want to make sure the tip is clear on this nail. So I'm going in with Glitterbels Marry Me. This is also a new glitter we just got in. So I'm placing that for the tip and feathering it up, patting this into place. And then the other glitter that we are using in this set is called Roses in Gold, which is a rose gold with kind of pink pieces in it as well, chunky pieces. So I'm just applying that on top. On this nail, I am going in all with my pink opal, and I'm applying this right at the cuticle area again, and I'm just going to fade this down. So I have this video sped up a bit, so of course I apply a little bit slower and while I'm working. I'm just feathering this all the way down the nail because this is just going to be that full color of pink opal. So I'm applying more. Pink opal is a core powder, so you don't actually need to encapsulate it if you don't want to. Again, I'm just feathering that with the very, very tip of my brush up to match that first bead, and then I am patting and pulling that product down, feathering that down, and then I am cleaning off my brush. You don't see that, but I'm just going to move on to her next nail here. I'm doing the same thing on her middle finger here, applying that rose gold Lily Crush glitter up at the cuticle area. You can see I kind of like spend a lot of time making sure that the cuticle area is perfect before I work on the rest of the bead, because glitter doesn't really dry that fast. So you can kind of really make sure that your cuticle is nice and even and clean. Then I'm patting and pulling that down, applying a little bit more, washing that down, and then going in with the Marry Me on top of the tip for that see-through clear look. This nail matches the pinky, so I'm going in with the Roses in Gold as well. You can see there's a little dip here, so I gotta apply a little bit more. My room was also a little cold, I think, so I was working a little slow and going back and forth between the nails. So I'm just applying more of that core powder on this nail to build up that color. And then I'm coming back over to this one to pat the tip. On this nail, I'm applying Marry Me at the cuticle area, and I'm going to go over top of this one and kind of hide it like a hidden opal nail. I'm going back in with a little bit more of the pink opal on that tip and patting that into place just to make sure it's nice and even. I'm applying my pink opal shimmer, or pink opal. I don't remember if I used the shimmer or just the regular version. I can't really tell in this video. I think I used the shimmer version actually. And I'm just applying that and feathering that down. You want to leave space for some clear there, just so that you don't accidentally cover up all the glitter. You want it to kind of fade away. So this nail is all pink opal at the tip and the Marry Me hidden at the cuticle area. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of clear, just so I don't accidentally cover up some of that color glitter, and then I'm just applying that to the cuticle area and then fading that over top of the pink opal. Again, using my brush to pat the product at the tip to make sure it's nice and even. And then the thumb is going to be all of that Lily Crush glitter. again, you want to apply it really, really close to the cuticle area. I'm using the tip of my brush to push that into place, and then feathering that down the nail. And we're going to build this up, of course, but the most important part is the cuticle area. Now we can encapsulate this. I'm just going in with my Glitter Bells glass slippers. This is the clear. I'm placing that on the pinky first to start. Always go pinky to thumb. I place the product down, and you want to use your finger to move her finger and let gravity pull the product all the way down. So you'll see that again here. I'm just picking up my bead. I'm going to place that right there, leaving a space, cleaning off my brush. Her finger is pointed downward, and then I'm using the point of my brush to push towards the cuticle area, and then fading that down the nail, feathering off what I don't need, and building that color up. That was a little blurry, so let's move on to this nail. Again, picking up that bead, placing it down, pushing the product closer to the cuticle area, and then dragging that down. We're going to encapsulate the nail, and then we'll go back and create an apex. After encapsulating all the nails, I'm going to go ahead and finish file. So I'm using some carbide bits from our site. This is just a medium tapered bit, and I'm just going to use this around the cuticle area to get it nice and thin. I'm switching to a round top safety bit. This is also from the Nail Throne, and I'm just using this to debulk the nail before I use my hand file to finish file. After I've debulked all the nails, I'm going to go in with my metal file board and shape the sidewalls, the free edge, and then go over the whole nail to file into shape. So around the cuticle area, and I'm going to keep my apex in place while thinning out the tip. But I want to make sure that you don't take off too much product, or else your tip will just be kind of wonky shaped. So I'm going under the nail and around, really trying to file and debulk that nail, keeping my apex, keeping the shape, but just making them thinner and just more even and clean and consistent all around. I just use a Glitter Bells buffing block under the nail, and then I go over the whole nail and around the cuticle area just to smooth and even this out a little bit more before we go in with crystals and top coat. Make sure you score your file before you do this so you don't cut your client, because I do use a brand new one every time. You don't want to over buff the nail or else your top coat won't stick well. Just go over to get rid of any kind of extra scratches you saw. Always remember again to remove the dust, and then I'm just going to check the nails and the lengths, and then I'm going to remember to TikTok. So I'm cleansed off all the nails to make sure there was no dust, and then we're going to go in with our crystals. So I'm going to be using my glue from Glitter Bells, which is the Effortless Adhesion Glue, and I'm going to be using some crystals from Moonflare. So I'm just doing my own little design sheet doesn't care. I can do whatever I want on these nails. These are Sarah's choice designer set, and she chose long, which makes the set $95. After crystals, we go ahead and top coat now. So I'm going to be using my Glitter Rolls No Wipe top coat. I am filming my TikTok here as well, so that's why you see my camera there. I'm on the nails that are clear, I put the top coat underneath as well, and then I have her flip her hand over and cure that. And on the nails with the crystals, you just don't apply your top coat around the crystals. Don't just apply it on top, or it'll dull the shine of the crystals. After I've applied my top coat, I've given her hands a cure, so I have my client kind of waited about a minute before I apply my cuticle oil. So you're only going to want to apply this on the natural skin and not on the nail at all. I'm just going to rub this in, and then I'm going to have my client actually go wash her hands, and then you'll get rid of all that dry, dusty look as well as the oil, and just have the nice replenished skin left behind, which will look better in photos. And this is how that set turned out. I absolutely love this set so much. They're so pretty, rose gold and light pink and kind of opaly. What do you guys think of this set? Let me know down below. I have a lot of videos coming. I'm sorry I've been behind. Make sure you check out my other channel, and if you want to book a course, let me know. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.